Hello and welcome to Love Games Live.
My name is Chi.
And my name is Kayzia. We have an interesting show lined up for you tonight, so stay glued and let's get cracking. Tonight we just saw episode 12, which is the second last episode in Love Games. Yes, let's talk about what we just saw tonight.
Throughout the season, we have been seeing David and Sachi battle it out with their different perspectives about what it means to be in a healthy relationship and what qualifies as risky behavior. And this time round, we're seeing poor Charlie caught in the middle of it all.
David and Sachi couldn't be more different from the advice that they both have to give to Charlie, with David being of the idea that he should go ahead and sleep with the new girl Tasheni just to get her out of his thoughts, while Sachi is of the advice that Charlie should just forget about her completely, and with the positives of marriage with Carol, that all this will be worthwhile. So let's have a look at what these two guys have to say.
Ndatufuna kutowi. It's better you do it now, before you lose all your rights after the wedding. Because after the wedding, you're going to be having to even answer for not spending nights in your own bed. And 2, you're going to be suffering curfews, my friend. 3, sometimes you even lose your conjugal rights. So you better think twice, my brother.
One thing, don't listen to him, man. Marriage is hard work, eh? But communication, faithfulness, responsibility, and respect is what keeps it together. Always protect your wife in everywhere, including the risk of HIV.
I can see a lot of friends in Zambia right now having the same argument.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, you have one side that says, look, marriage is such a burden. And they're saying they can have as many girlfriends as they want without any risk of infection. And then you have the other side who's saying, well, marriage is a special bond that you have to work very hard at. So it's important to start practicing safe behavior now.
I have to say that I've seen a lot of people around me who are men and women who think and act like David. They're committed in a long-term relationship, a long-term partner, but on the side, on the short term, they want to have a little fun, and they actually think that no harm will come out of it.
I agree, actually. There's a lot of Davids out there, and sadly not enough Sachis. Now, what really surprises me is up until now, even though we are surrounded by individuals who have sadly been infected with HIV due to their risky behavior, we still walk around in denial thinking, you know what, it's not going to happen to us.
That's right. Sachi himself used to be that person. You don't see a lot of that in Love Games, but he used to play a character on Club Risky Business. If you remember that show, he used to act just like David. I mean, he used to think it was all fun and games until he got infected with HIV. Of course, he's a completely different character and living a different life, which is wonderful and important, but why wait to get infected in order to make that change in your life? I think that is Sachi's whole point.
I think Sachi is a good example of what it means to live positively, all right? Now, he has accepted his status. He has been open about it to his friends and family, and he's even gone a step further in actively counseling those around him to make safer choices. He's a great role model to those around him. But I think he would also be the first person to tell you that if he could do it all over again, then he would do things differently and make sure that he did not get infected with HIV.
As much as modern medicine has made it so that we can live relatively long and healthy lives if infected with HIV, it doesn't mean that you and I should now become indifferent or okay with being infected, because life with HIV is never easy and better avoided.
Yeah, very true. So let's check out David's sexual network for a reality check. I mean, we've seen this before, but let's see. Is David really at risk of HIV infection like Sachi says he is? Okay, so we have David, who is connected to his wife Charity, and then his girlfriend Mimi. But it doesn't end there, because Mimi has 4 other men she's sleeping with. First, her boss Dominic, who may have a wife. Then her professor, who may also have a wife. Then Kalulu, her on-campus hookup, who may have other girlfriends. And lastly, TJ, who is of course dating Tasheni but has other girlfriends too. That's at least 12 connections, and most likely more, since we know David has a complicated past with many more women, including our very own Carol. Now, in Zambia, 1 out of every 8 people has HIV. And in David's case, he has 12 people in his sexual network. If you ask me, that is a huge risk of HIV infection. And especially if not everyone is using condoms. If one person in his sexual network is infected with HIV, it could easily spread to all of them.
And it's important to remember that even if you have a smaller sexual network than David, you're still at risk of HIV infection if you don't know your status, your partner status, or if you're not even using condoms every time.
Yes, everyone. I mean, let's learn from our friend Sachi. You don't have to wait until it's too late to protect yourself from HIV because you have options. Either don't have sex at all, or use a condom every time with every partner. Or you could stay faithful to one partner, have fun with that partner, knowing each other's HIV status. You have a choice, but don't wait until it's too late to make the choice that you want to make.
Well, I can't wait to see whose advice Charlie will be following, but I guess we'll have to wait for next week's episode to see what happens. For now, let's see what you guys have been chatting with Lulu.
Thank you guys. I know you've heard it 100 times before, but hey, prevention is better than cure. So start protecting your health today. All right, into the interesting part, the love test. But before we get to that, let's have a recap of last week's question, which was, why should you go for testing with your partner? And the answer was C. Yes, you guessed right. Because it will help you plan a healthy sex life with your partner. Moving on to our love test question today. This week we're going to be doing things a little differently because next week is our season finale. So all the first 20 correct answers are going to get some cool Love Games t-shirts. Not forgetting to congratulate those that won a Love Games t-shirt last week. Congratulations to you all. Let's keep texting and liking the Facebook page. This week's question is, how can you protect yourself from HIV infection? Is it A, abstain from sex? B, stay faithful to one partner and make sure your partner is faithful to you? C, know your HIV status and use condoms every time you have sex? D, all of the above. Text the word SAFE and your answer, A, B, C, or D, and send that to 7233. We'll be looking out for those correct answers. Back to you guys.
All right, so that's it for tonight's episode. But join us next week where we will be having our season finale. That's right, a 1-hour special of Love Games Live where we will be hanging out with some of your favorite characters from Love Games.
That's right. See you all next week and love safely. Bye.
Good night.
Activate.